When you've been to as many rallies as I have, you get used to hearing things you don't encounter in everyday life, like, go to hell and Klepper's a bitch. But lately, the crowds have been coalescing around one particular idea that nobody wants to hear.
Civil War?
Civil War.
Civil War.
Civil War.
Civil War.
The Civil War, our country's bitter attempt at divorce that ended with mom and dad back together in a state of constant resentment. 43% of Americans think it's very likely there's a civil war in the next decade.
Okay, I'm going to be perfectly straight up and honest. It's going to happen much sooner than that.
How soon? Because I have an Airbnb rented in the Outer Banks. But it turns out a lot of Americans think this way. And not just your uncle who has been hoarding weapons and Vienna sausages in his basement bunker. Even sitting members of Congress like January 6th committee member Adam Kinzinger. How close are we to another civil war?
I think we're closer than we'd like to think. And I used to be afraid to talk about it. Now I think it's important for us to talk about it.
To talk about a civil war?
Yeah, because I think we have to be aware of where we're at. I don't think it's going to be north and south with large marching armies. You know, if I live in Illinois, there's going to be Republicans and Democrats in Illinois. I do think it could get violent easily.
I mean, that's scary.
It is scary.
If a sitting representative like Kinzinger thinks a second civil war is possible, it's something we need to take seriously. So I decided to gather Americans in one of our most sacred traditions of civic unity, the corporate focus group, bringing together conservatives and liberals in Purple, Arizona, who all think civil war is a real possibility. The civil war is tomorrow. What is the skill set you bring to the battlefield?
Well, I'm good with a gun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. James?
I have survival skills. I was in the military. I know how to shoot a weapon, hand-to-hand combat if I have to. I could stick you with a knife and not, cry about it.
We're laughing about sticking people with a knife, but okay. Lansing, what skills?
Leadership.
Leadership?
Yeah, I just feel there's going to need to be some leaders.
Bo, what skills do you have?
Critical thinking?
Jesus. For all of the liberals here, we have a leader and a critical thinker. This is why the blue side is f***ed. But if America was going to be divided in a civil war, where would the modern-day Mason-Dixon line fall? It was time for a state-by-state fantasy draft. Well, nightmare draft. We've terraformed the states that have been red and blue to kind of create one land mass. Who sees themselves as conservative, part of the red map here? Are these the states you would want?
Oh, I much prefer the red states.
What breaks your heart? What are you going to miss?
Well, Arizona, isn't that supposed to be a red state, though?
Yeah, let's say we give you Arizona. Where do you want to travel to?
Well, I love California, but it's turned into such a shithole.
Let's be fair. As a red state guy, the blue state has the best food.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Bo, what would you miss?
Not a ton.
As a liberal, you're feeling pretty good about the states you get.
Honestly, I feel all right. We got Hawaii.
You do have Hawaii. James, what are you missing? You're going to be in this red conglomerate,
Well, the
right?
family's from back east in Ohio, so yeah, that would be...
You'd miss Ohio?
I wouldn't trade Cleveland for anything.
I'd trade Texas for California so I can go to San Diego.
Okay. Any other trades? Texas for California? Blue side, would you allow that trade?
I'll take Austin for Cleveland, but I don't need all of Texas.
We'll do an Austin for Cleveland?
I don't want Cleveland. He's in Cleveland. I want San Diego.
What will you give up for San Diego?
I would give up Florida.
No thanks.
There's no takers on Florida.
No.
Okay, so I guess the ocean can have Florida, which is helpful because it will probably take it anyway. And now that we have our newly divided states of America, we get to draft some new constitutions. If there is a new America, you're going to need new laws. Are there any laws you would want to change?
Get rid of the petty ones. I mean, there's lots of petty laws out there. I mean, if you pee in public, really going to be in the sex crime registry now because you peed in public? It's stupid. It's a crack in the system.
That's the first law that comes to head?
It's the petty laws. You get put in the federal sex crimes registry if you take a leak outside. It's just pretty dumb. That's just an example.
We just talked about a civil war tearing this country in two. You finally get your way.
Well,
And the first law that jumps to mind is peeing in public. Does your side not have toilets? With the vision of the new Confederacy already collapsing under the burden of sewage infrastructure, I thought it was time to cut to the chase and ask the biggest question of all. Which side wins?
We all lose.
We all lose, yeah. There's no winning there.
What if one side loses and then refuses to concede? Well, I don't know if I feel any better about the future of America, but for now, at least we still have elections.
God, it's going to be loud. It's going to be loud.
Loud
And
inside.
it's going to be crazy.
I mean, it's kind of quiet and businesslike outside,
Yeah,
but it's a party in the back.
it's going to be huge.
You would know, my friend. You would know. Tell me about your outfit. What's going on here?
This is just some shorts.
Swim trunks.
Swim trunk. I gotta say, it's a unique placement of his mouth area.
I've loved everything that he has implemented in the past, so I love if we could put that back into office to keep that going.
Like what stuff?
I like the border control.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big point.
We should be working to fix what's happening at the border.
Yeah.
Feels like Congress is just sitting on their hands right now doing nothing.
Yes.
They brought up a bill to do something, and Trump said, no frickin' way. Why was that a good idea?
I don't know.
Okay, so what did they think of Trump's only remaining human opponent?
I think she changed.
Yeah.
She's changed.
Fake Republican.
Yeah.
Nikki who?
Not familiar with Nikki Haley?
Globalist. She belongs to the fascists.
She was in the UN, for God's sakes.
I know. That's the global fascist capital of the world.
To be fair, she was appointed by Donald Trump. Okay.
But she stabbed him in the back as quick as she could.
Yes.
Loyalty matters.
Loyalty matters.
Fidelity, that matters.
Wait, when you say fidelity matters, you're not talking about like marital.
All fidelity matters.
Fidelity matters. Have fun in there inside with Donald Trump. I don't know if his third wife will be in there with him. I think she might still be mad at him. And Trump's recent court challenges have inspired a brand new demand. Trump has been talking right now about, he says he thinks he should be immune from the actions he takes while president. You think he should have total immunity?
Otherwise, everyone's going to jail.
You're fine with Trump as king?
Yes.
Trump as king is good.
Yep.
And that's about as American as you can get.
Yes, it is.
King Trump.
Yes.
However, Trump isn't asking to be a king. He wants to be a different kind of ruler.
He says, you're not going to be a dictator, are you? I said, no, other than day one.
A dictatorship for day one.
Yeah.
And that's what we need.
What does that actually look like?
Well, that means that about half the people in the Department of Justice should be arrested and put behind bars.
Okay. That's like a true dictatorship.
Yeah. Well, it needs to happen.
Donald Trump said he'll be a dictator day one. What do you think of that? Is that a good idea?
Let's get it done. Get in and get it done. Let's go.
He's not going to be like a Hitler dictator. No, more like a Mussolini dictator for a day.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes.
Put the people in place.
A dictator can do that, right? It can put people in place.
Absolutely.
The good people are over here, the bad people are over here in the gulag.
At this point, it's what America needs.
So they're on board with the dictator justice. But what about all the big dictator talk? Trump said they're poisoning the blood of our country.
Trump kind of speaks in allegories. What he's talking about is the blood of the country's been tainted. People have come here and immigrated. It's a different story.
And they don't know our American history and our values.
Nor do they respect it.
So when he says poisoning our country, it sounds harsh. It sounds much nicer in the original German.
Yeah, there you go.
While many were on board with Dictator 2.0, I did start to see some small cracks in support. Like when I found this woman who spent 60 days in prison for her role on January 6th. You were a Trump supporter?
Absolutely, I was a Republican. And I was wrong that day for even being there. January 6th was an insurrection.
Keep your voice down. This is a Trump rally. That's not the most popular take to have right now. And this guy, who confessed he's scared about losing his money after investing in a bunch of weird financial MAGA products like Trump debit cards and a dubious Trump currency.
I have supported him with checks and the gold Trump bars, $100 gold things. I can't get rid of those. NFT cards, TRB cards.
So how does that work?
They gave me a PIN number and everything. Go to any ATM. Went to the ATM and couldn't get nothing out. The card has nothing on it.
You think it was a scam?
It might have been, I don't know.
So you've invested a lot in Donald Trump.
Yeah. Everyone is telling me to buy something different.
Don't buy any. Can
I'm
I
not.
just, as a guy who's just getting to know you here, stop it, right?
I am. But I had this one guy, he wants me to put in more money, right?
No,
I'm not.
Here's the deal. I'm afraid if you go in there again, you're gonna be taken in by a scam again. Yes. All I'm saying is here, I'm saying there is hope that you can make better choices and not give in to a scam moving forward.
Right.
Okay? So
Right.
I think if you just walked that way, right through those gates.
No, my car's over here.
Well, we almost saved one person if he'd only parked in the right spot. Donald Trump's criminal hush money trial started yesterday. But a few days before that, he had a message to his followers.
72 hours until all hell breaks loose.
That kind of rhetoric is really incendiary and dangerous.
So I went down to the New York County Criminal Court to witness the carnage for myself. Donald Trump said all hell is going to break loose. Are you gonna go apeshit today?
I'm not gonna go apeshit today.
Are you ready to go apeshit today?
I want to see how it plays out, but
Okay. You gotta slow walk the apeshit.
right, slow walk it.
Trump supporters are calm, peaceful protesters.
Yes.
Yes.
They would never rush into a federal building and try to disrupt proceedings.
Donald Trump would never advocate for that.
Outside of that January 6th thing. Is today the January 6th of April 15th?
No.
No.
What January? I was there January 6th.
Yes.
I was there.
Where were you? Inside the rotunda? Are you in the office? Were you holding a podium? Where were you?
It was breached before we even got there. Because
Is that why you're here early today, just to make sure you get that first wave?
well, I have done pretty. Go back and watch America's Most Wanted. I made a grand appearance there when somebody said we got what we deserved.
God bless, I'll set my TiVo. Do you think the crowd will remain peaceful here?
I do.
Aren't you letting him down, not coming with your A game? Where are your horns?
I brought my A game.
You brought a scarf. You brought needlepoint.
It's handmade, man.
You guys picked a QAnon shaman yet?
You were on shaman.
Yeah, is there like a voodoo boogaloo somewhere?
That guy is so articulate and so smart.
You're talking about the guy with the horns?
Yes.
Right.
He could smell shit coming a mile away.
Is that why the QAnon shaman is so good at smelling shit? Because he was in the same room where someone was actually defecating inside the Capitol?
Probably.
While there was more press than there were MAGA supporters, I did run into one January 6th B-list star, Rudy Giuliani's son.
Yeah, I was in Washington, D.C. on January 6th as well. I was with President Trump.
Sure.
I remember him talking about peacefully protesting.
Some people were talking about peaceful protests. Some people also on January 6th were talking about trial by combat.
Let's have trial by combat.
Do you know anybody who was talking about that?
Oh, you know, look, I would say that peaceful protest is the most important thing.
No trial by
Stand
combat
up for his
today.
First Amendment
No
rights.
trial by combat.
Do you guys even care what's going on inside the courtroom or not?
Of course I care about what's going on in the courtroom. So let's establish some baseline facts about the trial. Do you think Donald Trump had sex with Stormy Daniels?
Oh, hell no.
You don't think that happened?
No, he was with Melania. Who the hell?
He's just always been a one-woman man.
Listen, he probably hasn't been, but women have thrown themselves at Trump for the almighty dollar. All those hoes.
They had 3.5 years to go after Trump for all these stupid trials. Why are they waiting until right now?
Is it possible they're waiting till right now because Trump consistently delayed the trials?
Yeah, I don't believe that.
While Trump complains about liberal bias, it seemed the most qualified jurors were outside the courthouse. You think you could be an unbiased juror?
Of course I can.
Do you have any feelings or opinions about how Mr. Trump is being treated in this case?
I absolutely do.
You do? What
Yes,
are those
I do.
feelings?
No, I have feelings that if you commit a crime, then you should go to trial.
Great.
That's it.
So you support this trial?
No, because it's not a trial.
Oh, well then I'm sorry there's no room for you on this jury. But apparently it was the venue itself that presented the most bias.
Trump cannot get a fair trial in a 90+% Democrat city like New York City.
Where can Trump get a fair trial?
In the Midwest, in Ohio, in Florida.
He's on trial in Florida, he's on trial in Georgia. Will you accept the results of those trials?
No.
So the MAGA sphere is ready for accountability, just not anywhere on this planet. Donald Trump has a big month ahead. A debate, an immunity ruling, sentencing, and a convention in the horrible city of Milwaukee. His words, not mine. So I went to my first rally since he became a convicted felon in the good old battleground state of Wisconsin. And as usual, MAGA was gonna MAGA.
Make America great again. I need to make some money.
You got a truck you want to show me?
Yeah, I do.
I wish the world a better place because I was here. Jesus Christ. President Trump. Same font, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Jed, are you at all worried about that whole worshiping false idols thing?
Not at all.
What do you think about the upcoming debate?
I've heard that, people say Biden won't show up.
Do you think Trump is going to show up?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I think he's going to show up.
He's not afraid to debate anybody.
Oh, no.
I mean, except for Nikki Haley. Of course, there's one thing still on everyone's mind. Trump's recent felony conviction in New York for falsifying business records. People are talking about what happened with Donald Trump's conviction recently.
That. Totally.
Bullshit. All 34 of them. It's a f***ing mess. Get rid of it.
Why is it a mess?
It's a mess because he didn't do anything wrong. Who's he cheating?
I mean, other than his wife.
I'm not getting into that.
It's unjustable. It's not fair.
Scam. It only takes one crime to send you to jail or prison.
Isn't that the truth? Oh, suddenly America's the land where you commit a crime and you go to prison? Are you f***ing kidding me?
That was a kangaroo trial. This is absolute Stalinism.
So do you have faith in the Department of Justice?
No.
Now there's the Hunter Biden trial. What did you? Hunter Biden was found guilty.
Yes.
What do you think of that?
Well, the evidence was overwhelming.
You take the evidence, you put it through the justice system, and he's found guilty.
Yeah.
We should accept that.
Yes. Because
Wait a minute, hold on. But I thought the justice system was rigged. We shouldn't trust it.
it wasn't taking place in a community that voted.
But the judge was a Trump-appointed judge.
Was he?
Yeah. What do you think of the whole Hunter Biden situation? Are you relieved? Hunter Biden was found guilty.
Yeah, but they're not going to do anything to Why not? You can sit around, dump a pistol in the garbage, smoke crack. You get away with all that shit.
But it sounds like he was convicted.
Yeah.
So is that the justice system working?
I don't know. Justice system won't work until that put away.
Which are we talking about? Trump.
Trump, 100%.
When Trump is put away, the justice system is working.
No,
Oh, okay.
no, come on.
Sorry, I'm trying to
Jesus
keep
Christ,
straight.
dude.
Which part of the justice system do we totally implicitly trust, and which one is a total sham? It's hard to keep them straight. But did this conviction dole out justice or just create a martyr?
There's a classic cartoon that shows other convicted felons. There's Gandhi, there's Nelson Mandela, and then there's Trump.
Do you put Trump in line with Gandhi and Nelson Mandela?
Yeah.
Between Gandhi, Mandela, and Trump, which was the one who had sex with a porn star and then paid to cover that up?
Well, none of the above.
But one of the above. And one of them recently made bank off his brush with the law. Spoiler alert, it wasn't Gandhi. So the conviction helped Donald Trump.
Well, everyone's pouring in money to support him, and I know I've done that a couple times.
Trump goes to trial for sexual assault. How much are you giving? What is that? Is that
probably $1,000.
$1,000 for that? Okay, classified docs, how much are you giving?
Another 1,000.
Okay, so 1,000 across the board?
Yes.
Okay, overthrow democracy, that biggie? Is that $2,000?
That's probably $5,000.
Wow, okay.
Basically, we just need to save our country from the border surge.
Right.
You don't need to be shelling out money to give immigrants who don't deserve it.
You're sick and tired of your money going to people who committed crimes.
That's right.
Yeah. Did you donate?
Yes.
What about for the sexual assault case? Did you give for that?
Oh, this is all just so old news, you know? It doesn't affect me.
It's old news. Sexual assault, smexual assault. Let's move on with the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a laugh.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
But what is slightly less hilarious is Trump's second-term plan, which sounds a lot like going after everyone who went after him.
Based on what they've done, I would have every right to go after them. I am your retribution.
Donald Trump is put into office. Should he go after his political opponents?
Absolutely. Rock their world. Up like he theirs up.
Donald Trump, if he gets into office again, should he show any mercy to political opponents?
I don't think so. You should go after them.
How important is vengeance to you when Trump gets into office?
It's probably third on the list.
Okay, good. So I'm guessing that's between martial law and right before fixing toilet pressure. But there's a simple reason it's so easy for them to give him a pass.
But I love Trump, so you know.
There you go.
It's like if you have a child and they pull some shenanigan. You don't like what they do. You love the person, but you don't necessarily like what they do.
The child analogy is kind of perfect, but to be clear, we are talking about the person you want to be
I
president.
want him to be president. Yes?
At least someone is having a good time. The last 3 weeks have been some of the most eventful in American political history. So I went to Harrisburg, PA to see how the MAGA world is reflecting on these serious times. First, I want to know how they're coping with the loss of their favorite punching bag. I've seen you many, many times here. What number rally we at?
82.
Are you sad about the Joe Biden chant being retired?
I'm sad because of all I've invested in all this anti-Biden gear.
How much Let's Go branded anti-Joe Biden merch did you have?
Oh, thousands of dollars.
Is that right? Wow.
I buy it at the Let's Go Brandon store in Toms River, New Jersey.
Do they have to rename that?
I think they're going to have to rename it.
How about one more for old time's sake?
Joe and the Ho.
And now the name-calling of Vice President Harris begins. If they could only decide how to mispronounce that name.
I'm surprised Kamala even has a chance.
No one likes Kamala.
They wanted Kamala in.
And that's what I don't like to hear about the Kamala thing.
Why do you say her name like that?
How do you say it? Kamala.
No, it's Kamala.
Kamala. Kamala.
Kamala.
There you go. I appreciate that you're trying to say the name correctly.
Yes. I actually am not, but I inadvertently,
How would you want to say it?
Kamala. It's the way Bush used to say Saddam Hussein. Saddam.
Is this you workshopping, elevating Kamala to Saddam Hussein levels?
Kamala Harris is a bigger threat.
More anti-American than Saddam Hussein?
Oh, yes, the most anti-American candidate for president we've ever had.
I gotta tell you, if I ran into you 3 weeks ago, you might have said that about Joe Biden.
That's right, yeah.
Do you think Kamala is qualified to be president?
Somebody that cackles all the time and laughs at everything under the sun? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. A woman experiencing joy, not your thing?
Yeah.
She's useless. She's backpedaling on all her previous comments.
Is that your issue with her?
Yeah.
Yes. What do you like about J.D. Vance?
He's a man of the people.
Think he'll stand up for Trump?
Yeah.
Vance will stand up to the people who compare Donald Trump to Hitler.
Yeah.
What happens if those people are also J.D. Vance? He has equated Donald Trump to Hitler, America's Hitler.
Years ago.
He flip-flopped. People can change.
Yeah, but I still don't like Harris.
There you go. Apparently, writing a book about your opioid-addicted family makes you more qualified than any black woman could ever be.
I heard she got up the ladder on her back.
Right, but millions of people voted for Kamala Harris. Did she sleep with all of them? I don't know. No. Right, but how do you sleep your way to the top of elected positions?
I don't know how she got to where she is, except if the word is DEI,
What do you think of J.D. Vance?
I think he picked him for votes in the Rust Belt.
Oh, so Trump wanted diversity on the
He wanted
ticket.
diversity on his ticket, yeah.
Sure. Over the years, the MAGA crowd has faced a lot of criticism, but none more stinging than the line of attack started by Kamala's new VP candidate, Tim Walz.
These guys are just weird. These are weird people on the other side.
Democrats are trying to call the MAGA movement weird. What do you think of that?
I don't know what's weird about it.
Is it fair, though, to call the MAGA movement inherently an unserious movement?
I don't think so.
Do you think the discourse has gotten too ridiculous?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think sometimes from an outside perspective, it feels like you come to a MAGA event and there isn't a seriousness. It's not about people trying to fix America. It feels like a carnival.
Yeah.
Is that a fair critique?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, no, these are people who are just genuinely care about the country.
People come here, they want to talk policy.
Yeah, absolutely.
They want to talk about Gaza, they want to talk abortion rights, right?
Yeah.
This isn't a freaking carnival, all right?
Yeah.
It's not Halloween. We're not all dressing up like lunatics.
Yeah.
It's a serious thing here.
Absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely. You do know you're wearing that hat right now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. The rally was just 3 weeks after a truly tragic day in U.S. politics. The official story was that the assassination attempt was committed by a disturbed young man who was a registered Republican. But this crowd isn't always into official stories. I think people on both sides can agree that was a horrific moment in our history.
It was.
Looking back at it, do you believe the things you hear?
Oh, no, I don't.
I believe it's an inside job.
The shooting was an inside job?
A lot of things aren't adding up. It's very strange.
I think that was a planned job. Anybody with any common sense knows that was a planned job.
Planned by who?
The Dems.
The left.
The deep state.
Obama is involved in this.
You think Obama set up the assassination attempt?
I think he surely knew about it.
Oh, it's the government, for sure.
It's government?
I think so.
You think they would go through all of this? Wouldn't they really wanted to take out Trump? Wouldn't they just poison a Big Mac?
I don't know.
It's the FBI, the Special Service.
Does it surprise you to hear that it was a disgruntled white guy Republican gun nut?
No, because you know what? We'll never know why he was picked.
It's kind of the perfect cover.
Exactly. They could have gotten a disgruntled black guy, and no problem. And they could have gotten a disgruntled black female. But no, they picked the disgruntled
white guy who's into guns at a Trump rally. It's like a Where's Waldo situation.
Yes.
Right? It's like, oh my God, who doesn't fit that profile?
Exactly.
Here? Right?
And just about the security and everything, there's like something wasn't right there from the beginning.
You know what gets me? It's like this kid was able to get an AR-15 that easily.
What the hell? Yeah. Not
Doesn't
at
add
all.
up. In that it
doesn't.
adds up so cleanly, it feels too easy.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
there's no paper. They can only go so far, and it's like a dead end.
It's a situation where like you want to connect the two dots, but it's just much easier to go all the way around.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly.